Hello, Kel67 Gaming here. I am back with another Favourite 5 episode. It's been a little while since we've done one of these, but lately I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon 4, which got me thinking, what are my favourite 5 racing games of all time? Racing games as a genre, I think, are as old as video games themselves, more or less. I remember as a very young child having a Atari 2600, and one of the games that I played a lot was Indy 500. I also played a lot of a game called Enduro by Activision, both racing games. So this is quite a difficult list to put together, just because of the sheer volume of games that are out there. So there's a few little ground rules that I've gone with. First of all, Outrun is banned. Anyone who's a regular viewer on the channel will know that Outrun is my favourite arcade game of all time. If Outrun were to be included on the list, it would be at number 1, no doubt. The second rule is that we're not going to have multiple entries from the same developers, publishers. Otherwise, you could end up with a very boring list where you could have my 5 favourite games are Forza 1, Forza 2, Forza 3, Forza 4 and Forza 5. Or, if you're on PlayStation, Gran Turismo, Gran Turismo 2, Gran Turismo 3. It would be silly. So that's the 2 rules that I've put in place. And I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get straight on to my 5th favourite racing game of all time.
Easy right, keep in, 40, easy left, tightens. 40, medium right. 100, keep left. Into medium left, keep in, medium right, onto tarmac. Easy left. 40, hairpin left. Medium right long, tightens. 40, easy right, over crest, keep in. 60, easy right, 40. Medium right, tightens. Into open hairpin left long. Into medium right, hairpin left onto dirt. 100 through narrow gate, keep left. 40, medium right, into easy left. Easy left. 60, easy left. Crest, jump, into crest, jump, medium right.
So this one is Dirt 3. Now there may be a few people thinking, why have I chosen Dirt 3 as opposed to, well, it obviously isn't the first in the series, so it's not something new. It's not the most recent in the series, so it's not the most graphically brilliant or the most technologically advanced. However, what Dirt 3 is the game that I spent absolutely the most time on. I had the game on both Xbox 360 and on PS3 and have completed it on both. I don't know what it is about the game. I think there is a part of it where it's there are cars from my childhood that you can drive. In the little bit of gameplay there you saw me in the Escort RS Cosworth. That is a car that I remember from when I was a child. That was the one that you wanted your dad to get. So maybe there's a little twinge of nostalgia there. It's also a very good arcade racer. So that makes the list at number 5. Um, I don't know if I can say any more about it. It is a brilliant game. Because I've played both versions of it, I would strongly recommend you get it, regardless of what system is your system of choice. So that was number 5. Let's have a look and see what my 4th favourite racing game of all time is. So at number 4 we have the original Gran Turismo on the PlayStation 1. This game was just it was so, I remember at the time it was so highly anticipated. We got build up in magazines for about a year about this great game that was coming out that was going to be just the the best game that you've ever played and such a visual feast. And do you know what? You look at it now with modern eyes and maybe you don't see it. But graphically, this was just absolutely mind blowing. The fact that it played very well as well was almost a bonus. This was a terrific game. I remember playing this far more than I should have done. The other thing that it did for me personally was introduce me to the high speed ring, a track that I have driven hundreds of cars around on multiple different games. Loved it, every bit of it. The career progression was great. The fact that you had to pass license tests meant that at first it may not have been quite as accessible, but ultimately made the game far more rewarding. So that's my 4th favourite. So now we're at the halfway point in this list. This is my 3rd favourite racing game of all time. So at number 3 on the list is the oldest game on this list. This one goes all the way back to 1990, which, although it's a considerable period of time ago now, it was very late in the lifespan of the ZX Spectrum. This game was the arcade conversion of Ivan Iron Man Stewart's Super Off-Road. I never actually played the game in the arcade, not until years later, but I came across this game. It was on a cover tape on US Sinclair magazine, and I just fell in love. Had to get the full game. For a ZX Spectrum game, this was absolutely unbelievable that they could do what they'd done here. You had nitrous boosts, you had upgrades to your vehicle, you had a career mode where you went through picking up points, picking up money to improve your vehicle stats. This was just completely different level to the racing games that we had prior to this on the ZX Spectrum. Absolutely wonderful game and holds a very special place in my memories. So that was my third favourite, which means very quickly we've got to my second favourite racing game of all time. So my second favourite game is Street Racing Syndicate. This is the game that keeps Ridge Racer off the list because this is a Namco game. I don't know what it is with this game. Maybe something about the time that I played it. I was just ready for this. This was like one of the very first open world driving games that I ever experienced, and just absolutely fell in love with it. I love the idea that it was not just about winning the race, but also about how you won it. So you'll notice in the gameplay there that as you're driving around, you get style points for how well you drive. This was just, to me, it was absolutely brilliant. I originally played it on the PS2. I have since picked it up on the Xbox original, and enjoyed it on both. Just a great game, and to be honest with you, could quite easily have made the number one spot. I can't tell you how much I absolutely adored this game for a period of time after it first came out. I remember it being quite late in the life cycle of the PS2, so it may be that some people overlooked it as they were looking forward to the PS3. Certainly wasn't the case with me. If you have overlooked this game and you see it at a reasonable price, just pick it up. It is a wonderful game. I guarantee you'll enjoy it. So here we are then. My favourite racing game of all time.
3, 2, 1, go! Medium right. Medium left. Medium left. Medium right. Medium right. Long medium left. Over jump. Medium right. Long medium left. Wow. Over jump. Medium left. Medium right, baby. Hey, right. Medium left. Long easy left, maybe. Caution, medium right, medium left. Caution, medium right. Wow. Wow.
Well, I may have excluded Outrun from the list, but Sega still take this top spot. Sega Rally Championship, this is specifically the 1995 version, which was released in 1994. As this is always the case with games, they are named after the year that's to come rather than the one that we're in. This was the original and, to my mind, absolutely the best. Sega Rally was such a huge part of my trips to arcades during the mid-90s. And I'd be playing Forza Horizon 4 a lot, and I do have a Lancia HF Delta Integrale in full Sega Rally livery. That is my go-to car on Forza Horizon 4. I just love the game. I've always loved the game. Played it not too long ago again at NERG. The term timeless gets bandied about far too easily nowadays, but this game is absolutely timeless. The driving on it is just perfect. I can't say enough good things about it. And that's my list. If you've agreed with me, whilst you have very good taste, it's a little bit boring. Please comment down below, tell me what games you would have put in that I didn't, what games you would have left out that I did. I'd be pleased to hear any feedback, because as I said, there's such a vast amount of racing games out there. It may be that there's a game there that you've played that you fell in love with that I just don't have any experience with, and it could prompt me to go and pick it up. And I always like picking up new games, especially when they're very good. So please do that. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We are a small channel who's looking to grow, and obviously the only way that we're going to do that is to get more eyes on the product, as it were. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and if you wish, you can hit the notification bell so you get notified when we upload a new video. It tends to be during the week, around about 6:30 GMT most days. So if you don't want to be bombarded with notifications, you'll know when to look for us. Please leave a like on the video. You've got a long way into this video if you're still watching me. So there must be something here that you've liked, something maybe nostalgic. Please put a like on the video. If you want to share this video with anyone and anywhere, please feel free to do so. I would appreciate that hugely. And the most important thing, as always, until next time, keep gaming.